today's vlog. Starting the vlog off in the car. We're at the Crowsberry Farm in Langley and we are here for a pumpkin weigh-off that starts in 5 minutes, so I have to hurry. We were running late this morning, my alarm didn't wake me up, and I wanted to get a vlog posted, which still has to go up. We went a couple years ago to this event with the weigh-offs and it was so fun, so we wanted to come again. There are the most enormous pumpkins. Before being here, I had never seen any of these pumpkins in real life, but they were always in like movies and stuff, these absolutely ginormous pumpkins, and it's just absolutely wild to see how big they are. And when we came the last time, they said you can basically see the pumpkins growing each day. Like you can almost watch them grow because they put on 50 pounds of weight a day. That's how much water they consume. Oh, it's so bright. I apologize. I rushed and I did my makeup in the car, but we are here and that is what matters. So I'm just gonna put some sunglasses on and hopefully no one will see my spider lashes. And we're good. It's funny, I'm like recognizing faces of the people who were here last time. I want to grow a big pumpkin.
You should.
That'd be fun. Remember the last time we were here, there was a couple people who had like done it for the first time that year and said that they didn't have that big of a garden to do it in.
You don't need a big garden apparently, right?
Yeah, they just took up the whole thing now.
This is estimated 893, so you had a good year. All right, so 893, 807. Yeah, definitely good personal best. On your way to 1,000. Okay, our next grower is current BC record holder, Scott Carley. Multiple record holder. I understand you did some renovations, so you're missing your main patch.
Yeah, this pumpkin was grown in just an ordinary, regular garden that anyone can grow at home, like no joke. So there wasn't very much modifications done to the soil.
Gives you a good idea of what you can potentially do growing right out of the gate. So this is estimated at 947. Scott has a reputation for his pumpkins to go really heavy, so let's see what this one does. 947 estimated. 1051. So this one is 1068 estimated. 1099. Woo! Still heavy.
That's 1 pound shy of 1,100.
Bigger than the last one, estimated at 1375. The actual weight, 1339. This is a big pumpkin. This likely will be the heaviest pumpkin ever weighed in BC.
This actually has a chance to be the largest pumpkin grown in Canada, not in BC. And so for someone to grow a pumpkin like this, not in a greenhouse, is really difficult. You'll see a lot of these pumpkins that are 2,700 pounds, they're all grown in greenhouses. So for that man and his wife to grow a pumpkin this big, yeah, that's impressive.
Well, the current record in Canada is 1983, so keep a watch on that. We could be seeing something really special. Okay, 1788, let's see, 1911! Wow, that is huge! New BC record.
It's a little later. I just spent the last like hour sitting in the car getting my video up because I didn't have a chance to do it this morning. But we're gonna go look inside and see what they have. Maybe they'll have a couple more pumpkins because I don't think I bought quite enough last week. Guys, this farm is actually the farm that they filmed at for Pumpkin Pie Wars, which is a Hallmark movie and one of my favorite fall Hallmark movies.
Yeah, so, I think you can see it in the intro scene.
We didn't even talk about the pumpkin. Oh, did I? I did talk about it, I think. I talked about it, the one that won. I think I did.
I don't know.
We're walking by the winning pumpkin. They just strapped it up and lifted it over onto a truck.
Can you imagine you're on the highway and you see that?
Just like huge pumpkins.
That thing driving by?
That's the 4,000 pumpkins. Or 4,000 pounds of pumpkin. So one of the goals of the grower who ended up winning largest pumpkin was to have over 4,000 pounds of pumpkin at the WeighOff. So there are 3 pumpkins here. This is over 4,000 pounds of pumpkin. Absolutely wild. So we're back home now. It's actually 4:55. Usually what they have set up at the Crosby farm is kind of like a stand that sells nachos and pizza and soups and stuff, and this year they were only selling wine, and I didn't want to replace my lunch with wine, so we came home after all of the activities. Quite a long drive. It was like 45 minutes to get back here, so we're going to make our dinner early. And this is actually one of the things I wanted to show you guys. It's one of the things that we've eaten almost every single day for the past couple months. But we love it.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's great because it fills you up, but it's not calorie dense.
And it's healthy and it tastes amazing.
Yeah, so I have some footage from 2 nights ago where I actually made one of the components of this meal. This is something I meal prep kind of. So I have most of the stuff already like prepared. So I'm gonna insert that footage before I start making everything. But basically the great thing about this meal is it's almost just assembly. So for dinner we're making grilled chicken wraps, and I know they sound not that exciting, but they're so good. The chicken recipe, it's honestly amazing. And again, the secret is brown sugar. My new favorite thing to add to everything. I think I actually have to chop up some onion. I always have a ton of chopped onion, sliced mushrooms, grilled chicken on hand. And those things make my life so easy. These are the wraps we use. They're great because they're only like, for one wrap, it's 72 calories. They're very thin, but I love them. They have like kind of like a powdery surface on them too, which is really nice. Did I say powdery? I meant floury. I'm gonna show you guys how I assemble Sebastian's because mine, I weigh everything. And I know that sounds really obsessive. I saw this post on Instagram the other day that said like you're not any more obsessive for tracking your calories than you would be for like tracking your money if you're trying to save money or whatever. And I totally agree with that because this is, you know, the quickest way to the goal, and then I can have more fun with my diet. Okay, so these are the wraps we get these at Whole Foods. They're the natural organic flour wraps from, what's the brand? Oh, Natural Wraps, that's what they're called. They're great. They have like a little bit of a floury surface that almost reminds you of when you eat pizza. The key players I wanted to talk about. This is something I use on pretty much everything that is savory. It's the Sabertino Tartufi truffle seasoning. Oh, that light's driving me nuts. There's a light back there there must be like a loose wire somewhere. It keeps flickering. I apologize if it's annoying. Anyways, this truffle seasoning is everything. We add this to our greens, our wraps, pretty much everything, but especially greens. It tastes so good on them. You can buy this stuff on Amazon, but we order it from Natura Market here in Canada. I think I'm just gonna take the light out. And now it's not flickering. Watch, it's gonna start as soon as I walk back over.
It's like an what's the movie called? Interstellar.
No, it's almost like, or Stranger Things.
No, it's or Stranger Things, but also Interstellar with the bookshelf.
Okay.
It's maybe you from the future trying to talk to yourself.
Okay. Morse code here.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe this is gonna. It seems like it fixed it. I don't know. I guess I'll know in a minute. Anyways, another thing that Sebastian really loves, I don't use this, but this is the truff hot sauce. And we also order this from Natura Market. It's truffle flavored hot sauce. I find it a little bit less spicy than normal hot sauces, and it's kind of sweet. It is really good, but I'm just like a wimp with spice. Another thing I love adding to our wraps is pale ale honey mustard. And I'm not specifying brand because I've seen this like in multiple different stores with different brands. We used to buy one from Trader Joe's that I loved, which was the same. The reason I like this is because it's sweet, but it's very low in calories. So it's 5 calories for 5 milliliters. So basically 1 calorie per milliliter. Most honey mustards are like 20 calories per teaspoon. Another thing I like to add to the wraps, Creamy Caesar Kraft calorie-wise dressing. I actually don't like Caesar dressing normally, but I really like this one because it's more sweet than normal dressings. Okay, so here is dinner. I know it doesn't look like anything special, but obviously it's good if we've been able to eat this for the past like couple months and not be sick of it. This meal has like about 350 calories depending on the ratios I use. And I usually like to have a meal that's about 350 to 400 calories for dinner so that I can have snacks in the evening. I usually have more calories in snacks than I do in my meals. But it's so good.
I love these wraps.
The chicken is just so yummy. Also, because everything's pretty much meal prepped, it takes almost no time at all to put them together.
What do you call it? Ingredient prep?
Not meal prep, ingredient prep. You're right. When you're trying to eat within a certain calorie budget or macro budget, it's really, really important to have things on hand. Sometimes I'll get hungry and I'll literally just go grab some grilled chicken and dip it into the mustard sauce and have that as a snack. And it's a great high protein snack that fills me up, and it really like makes all the difference to have it available. We do a variation of these wraps. Sometimes we'll have them with grilled chicken, and last night and the night before we had them with grilled prawns. So the Italian prawns that I showed you guys in the last video, we'll use that in here, and we'll add a little bit of feta, and we'll leave out the mustard and just use the Caesar dressing, and it's like kind of like a Greek or Italian wrap. It's so, so yummy. I would probably say I like the prawns even more than the chicken just because I feel like they have more sweetness. Just so, so good. So our plan for the night is we're going to start making some of our fall essentials. We're making potato leek soup, which I showed you guys last year. You guys have already seen it, but if you haven't, I will add the recipe to the description bar below for you guys. So we're gonna make potato leek soup because it is soup season. We are also going to make pumpkin pie. Sebastian is still going strong on not letting me share, but I thought of maybe showing the recipe, but just not sharing the ratios right now.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're so adamant, and it's just a pumpkin pie. It's not that
so
serious.
Good, though.
I know, but I'm never going to have a restaurant. I should be spreading the joy.
Think about it.
I'll think about it. Okay, well, we'll see if I can add the instructions to the description bar, but I'm gonna film it and have the B-roll. We bought these 2 little pumpkin pies from the farm we were at, and I'm certain I won't like it because it had the normal pie crust, but I mean, who knows? Maybe I've grown and I will end up liking it. Can I give at least a couple tips?
No.
A couple tips.
I don't know. I don't understand the recipe, so I don't know how much you're giving away.
There's a lot of like tips that are required in order to make this the way that I make it. Can I just say like what kind of pumpkin I use to... Okay, so one of the main things is for the pie, the best pumpkin for a pie is actually a banana squash. They're enormous. I buy them and then I roast them and then I puree them and then I freeze them. So I have a bunch in my freezer still from last year. They make the best pie. They're a little bit more watery, so you have to add them to the stove and thicken them up when you're like making your filling, but they taste so much better than normal pumpkin. And I mean, they are in the squash family, so it tastes basically exactly like a pumpkin pie, but they're a little bit sweeter. The texture's a little bit nicer, the color's really pretty, and you'll see when I'm making it. But we're gonna make some soup. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to make it over the stove or make it in my Instant Pot. Last time I filmed it for you guys, I made it in the Instant Pot, and it was my first time doing that. It was a little bit different. It tasted a little bit different. I feel like ultimately the best flavor is when you let it simmer over the stove for a long time, but it did end up tasting really, really nice from the Instant Pot, just like slightly different. So I guess while I'm prepping everything, I will think about how I'm gonna make it. So I'm going to chop up the leek, remove the top parts, rinse everything under water, and then use a salad spinner to get all the water out. Regardless of whether or not I use the Instant Pot or Instapot, I can't remember.
Instant Pot. Instant Pot.
Okay, regardless of whether or not I use the Instant Pot, I'm going to actually saute these over the stove first because I don't want to burn them. I just want to make sure that they're good because this is the base and all the flavor of the soup.
We wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
I think we cut up too many potatoes. Let's see if they fit. I think they were just bigger. I always usually do about 6 potatoes, but these ones seemed bigger. Yeah, I think we have to do it over the stove. I've got a couple tips. First tip is, for this soup, I like russet potatoes the most. Don't like stir them or anything because they'll break apart, but for whatever reason, russet potatoes taste the most like the potatoes in clam chowder, if you know what I mean. They get really kind of buttery and creamy. So that's one thing. The next thing is they have so much starch on them that you really need to wash them well or soak them after you chop them up. If you don't, the starch will make the water really cloudy and the potatoes will start to go pink if they sit out for too long. All right, we've settled on making this over the stove. So I have my huge soup pot. This is what we're gonna be making it in.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more.
Boiling. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys is that I always use Parmesan rinds whenever I'm making soup or sauces because it just adds so much flavor. Definitely save your Parmesan rinds, add them into soups and sauces, but make sure to pull them out when you're done making whatever it is you're making. I'm going to take my pureed banana squash out of the freezer. This is the banana squash that I froze. It looks a little bit lighter on camera. It's actually more of like a true pumpkin orange color. I'm going to thaw both of them in some hot water.
You and I can weather any storm.
That is literally it for the soup. I just add in whole milk. I like to use whole milk because it's a little bit creamier than 1% or 2%, but not quite as heavy as whipping cream. But you can always add whipping cream if you want it to be extra creamy. And if you want it to be a little bit more homogenized, which I've done in the past, I've made it so that it was not where you can see the fat from like the butter and stuff has separated from the milk. You can add in a little bit of pre-cooked flour. The one that I like to use is this one here from Robin Hood, but I know that there's another like US version of this called Wonder Flour. Basically, it's cooked flour. You can add it in at any stage and it's not going to give you that raw flour taste. This just thickens it up and makes the fat blend in with the cream. But I actually like it like this. And then over the next few days, as you reheat it, it will continue to thicken up, which is really nice. Right now it looks a little bit thin, but oh my gosh, the potatoes are the perfect consistency. They're soft, they're not mushy. The trick to that is you want to make sure you bring it to a boil and then you drop it down to a light simmer and cover it and then cook it for like 45 minutes. Another thing is you want to keep tasting it as you go along. This actually needs a ton of salt. I'm going to give you guys the actual recipe for what my like standard batch is in the description bar, but this one I 1.5'd it because I had too many potatoes. But you want to add a lot of salt. For the leeks, I added 3 teaspoons, and then as I added the water, I think I added another 2. So you just want to keep adding salt until you get the right flavor. Otherwise it will be bland and boring and you don't want that. Especially considering there's no broth, it's just water. We're going to move on to making our pie. Not going to share the ratios for anything, but maybe you guys can figure it out from what I'm doing, the steps I'm doing. And then in the future, I'll wear them down. I promise it'll get to the point where I can share the recipe. I just have to come up with some type of creative way that he's going to be okay with it, because right now he's thinking he's going to capitalize on some type of
just put it in the
restaurant where we sell pie. Ready for the pie montage. pie's in the oven. We're making a snack and we're gonna watch, what's it called, Free Guys?
Free Guy.
With Ryan Reynolds. It's on Disney Plus. We're having Skinny Pop popcorn, and this is the sea salt flavor. We get this at Walmart, and we've tried both the butter and sea salt flavor, and for whatever reason, sea salt is just superior. There's another popcorn that I actually like more than this. It's the Boom Chicka Pop from Angie's. Oh my god, it's so good. It has kind of like this greasy quality to it that reminds me of like movie theater popcorn, and that one also we get in the sea salt flavor, but I'm out of it right now. I'm so sad. I have a new shipment coming to me on Wednesday though, so that's great. But that is my like all-time favorite. I have that every single night. It's so good. We love these two. Definitely recommend them if you can get your hands on the Boom Chicka Pop microwave popcorn. The sea salt one is just amazing. I actually did not like the buttery one at all, which surprised me because I'm such a butter person. The sea salt one is way better. It tastes, in my opinion, more buttery, ironically, than the actual butter flavored popcorn. So give them a try if you haven't had them already. All right, this is the movie we're watching. I'm very curious about this because the reviews were insanely good. Honestly, we know nothing about this movie pretty much.
No.
I'll let you guys know what we think of the movie. I hope that it wasn't too hyped. Chin chin! Good morning, guys. We didn't end up trying the pumpkin pie last night. We were both really tired at the end of the night, so we decided to put it off until today, which is probably better because it had a chance to like set up a little bit more. The consistency obviously in the middle is more like a custard, so as it sets and cools, it gets thicker. So we're gonna do a taste test with these ones that we got from the farm yesterday. This is what the finished pumpkin pies look like. I know they look unsuspecting. They don't look like they're that good. Curious about whether or not my tastes have changed and if I will like regular pumpkin pie in like a normal pumpkin pie shell. I think one of the things I don't like about the pie is that the crust usually gets kind of soggy. Okay, I don't hate it. Maybe I need another bite. I think also another thing, I need a very thin ratio of filling to crust. I don't like when there's like a really thick filling. I don't like it. I'm gonna try mine now. I think the consistency of the banana squash is different than pumpkin. I think this is like, almost has more like baby food kind of consistency. Banana squash kind of tastes more homogenized, smoother, not as like lumpy.
This one reminds me more like consistency-wise of cheesecake.
Yeah. Okay, I only wanted to have a bite of this and now I'm here sitting here eating the whole thing for my breakfast. You gotta take this away from me because I'm gonna keep eating it. Also, the graham cracker crust is so good.
I was just about to say that.
So tips, things I can give away. Roast your own pumpkin, but use a banana squash. Toast your spices, graham cracker crust, a million times better. I also blend my own spices. Very fresh tasting.
Way more flavor.
A lot more flavor. Rather than having like this spice mix that's been sitting in a container for a million years and all the flavors kind of taste a little bit more monotone where they've all taken on each other's flavor, you really taste the clove, you really taste the pepper, you really taste the nutmeg, you taste all the individual spices.
The ingredients.
It tastes way more fresh. Pumpkin pie is basically just spice and pumpkin and, you know, sugar and stuff. So you really want to make those ingredients shine and then have a really good crust. And then you have a great pie. So even if you just take the tips that I'm giving you from how I make the pie and you apply those things to your own pumpkin pie recipes, you'll already have like a million times better pie without giving away too much. It's a compromise. It's a compromise as of now. The last thing I'm going to show you guys in this video is how I make my omelet. I told you guys last week that I was going to show you how I make my omelet that I have every single day. It's so good, so simple. And then after that, I'm going to end the vlog because this has just been one really long vlog full of cooking. I did not lie last time when I said that I would make up for the lack of recipes in that video, in this video. I will catch up with you guys when we have lunch. We're making lunch now. We have to grate some cheese. We always use our food processor to just throw in like a block of mozzarella. Mozzarella is great because it's low in fat, really high in protein, and not too high in calories. So the one we use is like 30% less fat. I like it because it's nice and like stringy, cheesy. You know, you get the cheese pulls. I have to chop up some mushrooms. I have to grab the other stuff.
Did you talk about the cheese?
I think I already did talk about the cheese.
No, you weren't recording.
No, I just did again, but I'm gonna show. So yeah, we always have grated cheese on hand, and we like to grate it ourselves. I feel like the ones that you buy in the package, they usually have some type of anti-caking stuff in there, so they end up like not melting as nicely. They taste more artificial. It's way nicer to just grab a block like this, throw it into your food processor using the grater, or just grate the whole block by hand. Doesn't take very long, and then throw it into Tupperware and keep it in your fridge for when you want to use it. It's just like so much nicer. And another one I always keep on hand is chopped onions and some sliced mushrooms, but I have to actually slice these.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover.
So this is our lunch. The greens are actually for the nitrates. I have these variants that puts me at an increased risk of getting AMD, which is an eye condition where you can possibly go blind. I have 3 of the variants, which is something I found out in my 23andMe. So I weigh my greens, not because I care about the calories, because it's just greens, but I weigh them so I know how many nitrates I'm getting in. Arugula is so high in good nitrates. When you have it, meats and stuff, that's bad, but vegetable nitrates are so good for you. And the funny thing is, they actually lowered Sebastian's blood pressure.
Yeah.
Like, he had slightly on the high end of normal for his blood pressure, and now it's almost at the same level mine is at. And whenever I go to the doctor, they joke about how my blood pressure is so low that I'm almost dead. Because it's like so low. Mine's like 53 over 98 or something like that. And his is like 100 for the high one, and then in the 60s for the low one. And it used to be for the 80s for the low one, or close to that.
Yeah.
And then for the high one used to be like 126.
Yeah. That's really high.
So it's really crazy how like just changing your diet for a couple months makes such an impact. I actually love this so much. The truffle powder makes it so good, but I ran out. I usually use way more than I used in today. Mine obviously is quite a bit smaller than Sebastian's, but I find it very filling. And because I eat every couple hours, I never have a problem with the fact that it's small. After I'm like in the maintenance zone, I will be increasing like my cheese, and I won't be weighing things. I'll more be like eyeballing things. I've eaten this for months straight, and I love it. I never get sick of it. Okay, so my battery is flashing, so I'm gonna keep this short. I'm going to end the vlog now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I definitely tried to make up for the last one with adding in a bunch of recipes for you guys. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying your fall so far, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.